There's a cartoon episode that aired once and was almost immediately banned, but rumor has it, if you watch it alone after midnight, something follows you and eventually kills you. That's what they say, at least. And I believe them. I believe them because of what happened to my best friend David. David was the kind of person everyone wanted to be around. He had this way of making people laugh without trying, like when he attempted to convince our math teacher that his calculator was haunted just to get out of a pop quiz. He was kind, easy to talk to, and somehow always knew when someone needed cheering up. People loved him for that. But to me, he wasn't just the funny, likable kid everyone admired. He was my best friend since we were 5 years old. We started kindergarten together, and we have been inseparable ever since. He was always the one person I felt completely safe with, closer than a brother. At around the age of 12, we got hooked on horror, and especially creepypastas. We would waste away hours on Reddit and YouTube, consuming all the scary stories and legends that we could find. Then it happened. I was in my room, lost in a World of Warcraft dungeon, when David burst in, breathless and grinning as if he just won the lottery. He told me about a creepypasta that he had just read. It was about a cartoon that was released in 1966 and then vanished. It was a strange black and white cartoon about a cat endlessly chased by its own shadow. No matter where, it ran across rooftops, through alleys, or into silent moonlit fields. The shadow was always just a step behind. The animation got more distorted as it went on, the lines trembling as if the reel itself was somehow afraid. In the final scene, the cat stops running. The shadow catches up and wraps around it like smoke. Then, without a sound, the fur begins to peel away. Slowly, deliberately, and just before the screen cuts to black, a low, crackling voice whispers something. 3 words that sound like ancient static. Omni Hexus Satanis. David told me that he found the cartoon on the dark web and watched it. He was thrilled at the thought of testing out a creepypasta in real life. Of course, I feigned excitement, but deep down, I was terrified for him. All I could think about was the warning. Watch it and something will stalk you, and eventually it will kill you. That was 10 years ago, though it feels like yesterday. I can still barely believe the events that followed. A few days after he watched it, David started acting different. He kept glancing over his shoulder. He flinched at shadows. He looked tired, like something was draining him from the inside out. Eventually, he told me what was going on. He said he was seeing things, movement out of the corners of his eyes. He felt like he was being watched, followed. He kept getting phone calls where no one spoke, just silence. Then a click. And worst of all, the TV in his room started turning on by itself, always at 3 a.m., always playing nothing but white noise. He swore he could hear his name in the static. Then it happened. One day I went to school, and David wasn't there. I found it weird because he never skipped. I assumed maybe he was sick or something. Then after school I went home, and my parents told me that David was missing. When his parents went into his room to wake him up that morning, he wasn't there. His bed was empty. I had a sick feeling in the pit of my stomach. I knew something was wrong, deeply wrong, tragically chilling. Then my worst fears were realized. 3 days later, the police found what was left of him in the woods behind his house. He was skinned. All I could think, besides the unbearable thought that I'd lost my best friend forever, was that he died just like the cat in that cursed cartoon. It's been 10 years since David died, since they found him in the woods like something out of a nightmare. I wish I could say I moved on. That time dulled the memories, but the truth is, it never let me go. I stopped sleeping with the lights off. I still can't walk past shadows without glancing twice. For years I avoided cursed media altogether. No creepypastas, no late-night horror binges. Just the thought of them made my skin crawl. But curiosity is a strange thing. It gnaws at you in silence, especially when there are questions left unanswered. A few weeks ago I started searching again, not for fun, for closure, for proof. I went deeper than I ever had before. Old Reddit threads long since forgotten, archived forums, fragments of .onion links buried in dead blogs. And then I found it. The cartoon. His cartoon. I don't know why. I clicked play. Maybe part of me needed to know if it was real. Maybe I needed to believe he didn't die for nothing. I watched it. And now, wait. Something just moved in the corner of my eye. No, not something. Someone.